Did you know that 70 to 80% of persons over 60 use vitamin supplements on a daily basis? That's right, the majority of us are grabbing for those bottles, convinced that we're doing something healthy for our bodies. Like many of you, I thought that more vitamins meant better health. For years, I doubled up on pills, believing I was strengthening my body, protecting my bones, and keeping my muscles strong. But what if I told you that some of the supplements in your medicine cabinet may be damaging your leg strength? What if the medications you take every morning are slowly weakening the exact muscles you're attempting to protect? That's correct, there are certain vitamins that, if consumed in excess, will literally sap the strength from your legs. And now, we're going to reveal a hidden hazard that most doctors never discuss. Before we go any further, I want to share something vital with you. For the past 15 years, I've been investigating the often overlooked links between nutrition and movement in seniors. And what I learned may surprise or perhaps shock you. Recent large-scale investigations have discovered disturbing links between specific vitamin excesses and deteriorating muscular performance, notably in persons over 60. This is not guesswork, it is documented study that is simply not receiving the attention it deserves. Now, let's speak about how vitamins work in the body. Vitamins are absolutely necessary when consumed in enough quantities. They help to govern hundreds of functions, including muscular contraction, bone strength, and energy production. When correctly balanced, various vitamins assist your muscles in contracting efficiently, maintaining proper nerve signals, and supporting the energy generation your legs require for daily activities such as ascending stairs, getting out of seats, or just keeping balance. But this is when things become concerning. As we age, our bodies change in significant ways that make us particularly vulnerable to vitamin imbalances. First, our kidneys and liver do not absorb excess vitamins as effectively, causing potentially hazardous levels to accumulate. Second, age-related changes in our digestive tract can affect how we absorb both food and supplements. Third, many of us take several drugs, which might interact with vitamins in unexpected ways. Finally, certain vitamin excesses can significantly accelerate the natural muscle and bone changes that occur with age. This perfect storm of circumstances implies that what seems insignificant to a younger person might have a substantial influence on your mobility and independence. And that is precisely why this knowledge is so important for everyone watching right now. Let us begin by discussing our first potentially troublesome vitamin, vitamin A. Let me be clear, vitamin A is vital for your health. It promotes vision, the immune system, and skin health. Vitamin A can be an ally when consumed in sufficient quantities. However, when taken in excess, which is surprisingly easy to do, it shifts from beneficial to dangerous, particularly for leg strength and mobility. So, how does extra vitamin A damage your muscles? Let me break it down for you. Hit that like and subscribe button if you're ready to claim your strength back, for yourself, your family, and the memories you still have to make. First, excessive vitamin A has a direct influence on muscle tissue, causing soreness and considerable weakening. Many of my patients mistake this for normal aging or arthritis, when in fact it is their supplements that are creating the problem. Second, and this is critical for us elders, too much vitamin A impairs your body's capacity to correctly use calcium and magnesium, two elements that are very necessary for muscle function. Consider this, calcium helps your muscles contract, but magnesium helps them relax. When vitamin A inhibits the appropriate absorption and usage of these nutrients, your leg muscles cannot function properly. This causes weakness when mounting stairs, difficulties rising from chairs, and an unsteady sensation that can lead to dangerous falls. But the damage does not end there. Excess vitamin A also reduces your body's energy creation at the cellular level. Your muscles require energy to function, and when this process is disturbed, you experience significant weariness and weakness, which many people mistake for just getting older. Most concerningly, over time, excessive vitamin A promotes bone demineralization, particularly in the legs and hips. This implies that your bones become weaker and more susceptible to fractures, resulting in a deadly combination of muscle weakness and brittle bones. So, how can you tell if you have an excess of vitamin A? Watch out for these warning signs. Unexplained muscle weakness, particularly in the legs. Difficulty climbing stairs or standing from a sitting posture. Joint or bone discomfort, especially in the legs and hips. Unusual weariness with minimal physical exercise. Headaches and irritation. Despite moisturizing, my skin remains dry and harsh. If you are having several of these symptoms, it is worth looking into if vitamin A is a contributing cause. So, where is all this extra vitamin A coming from? Many seniors unwittingly consume too much from many sources. Multivitamins, most contain 100% or more of your daily requirements. Dedicated vitamin A supplements, these can contain several times your daily needs. Fish oil supplements, many contain significant amounts of vitamin A. Fortified foods, cereals, milk, and juices frequently have added vitamin A. Natural food sources, liver, sweet potatoes, carrots, and leafy greens are all high in vitamin A. The actual danger occurs when you take vitamin A from various sources without realizing it. For example, taking a multivitamin, eating fortified cereal for breakfast, and eating liver for dinner may easily push you over the limit. Remember that vitamin A is fat-soluble, which means it is kept in your body's fat and liver rather than removed. This permits it to collect over time, eventually weakening your legs while taking what appears to be a reasonable quantity. Now, let's speak about our second possibly troublesome vitamin, one that may surprise you, vitamin D. We've all heard about the benefits of vitamin D for bone health, immunological function, and mood control. Many doctors commonly recommend it, particularly to elderly. And they're correct, appropriate vitamin D levels are critical for our health as we become older. In fact, a real deficit can lead to severe muscle weakness and bone issues. But here's something most health professionals fail to emphasize: when it comes to vitamin D, the boundary between beneficial and detrimental is remarkably thin. Crossing that limit might severely impair your leg strength and movement. To understand why, we need to discuss something called hypercalcemia. Don't worry about the technical terms, I'll explain them simply. The major function of vitamin D is to aid your body's absorption and utilization of calcium. That's great when your calcium levels are normal. However, taking too much vitamin D can lead to hypercalcemia, which is a condition in which your bloodstream has too much calcium. Think of calcium as the key that activates muscle contractions. Normally, calcium moves into the muscle to contract it and then out to relax it. However, with hypercalcemia, extra calcium accumulates in your muscle cells, making it difficult for them to relax normally. It's like tightening your hand into a fist and being unable to fully relax it afterwards. This state of continuous partial contraction produces muscle stiffness and soreness, scorching sensation in your leg muscles, painful cramping, especially at night, joint pain that is frequently confused for arthritis, progressive weakening when muscles stay persistently exhausted. This explains why many seniors with high vitamin D levels experience leg heaviness, trouble balancing, and a marked reduction in their ability to walk distances they formerly did with easily. However, there is another, more worrisome way in which too much vitamin D affects your legs. Excess vitamin D can lead to abnormal calcification of soft tissues. In layman's terms, this implies calcium begins to deposit in places it shouldn't be, such as your muscles, tendons, and blood vessels, especially in your legs. These calcium deposits can cause lasting tissue damage, resulting in chronic discomfort and gradual weakening that persists even after discontinuing heavy supplementation. So, how can you spot the indicators that your vitamin D levels are too high? Watch out for these warning signs. Unexplained weakness or weariness, particularly in the legs. A sense of heaviness while walking. Loss of coordination or balance. Symptoms of digestive issues include nausea, constipation, and decreased appetite. Increased thirst and urination. Intermittent confusion or disorientation. Painful calcium deposits in sensitive tissues. Now, some factors make us elders especially prone to vitamin D toxicity. Age-related renal function decline, our kidneys do not regulate vitamin D metabolism as effectively, enabling levels to rise. Medication interactions. Many popular blood pressure, cholesterol, and heart-related medications can alter how your body processes vitamin D. Limited sun exposure. Ironically, seniors who receive less natural sunlight tend to compensate with higher supplement doses. Reduced body fat. As we age, we lose more tissue that can distribute fat-soluble vitamins like vitamin D, thereby concentrating their effects. Multiple sources of vitamin D. Many seniors get their vitamin D via supplements, fortified meals, and prescription supplements without realizing the cumulative effect. What makes this more concerning is that vitamin D intoxication develops gradually. Significant damage to your leg muscles and other tissues may have occurred before you detect symptoms. And, contrary to popular opinion, you do not need to consume large amounts to reach dangerous levels, especially as a senior. According to research, even a steady intake of 4,000 IU per day, and quantity common in many supplement regimens, can cause toxicity in certain seniors after many months of use. Now that we've covered how some vitamins might weaken our leg power, let's look at something equally important: the foods we eat on a daily basis that may be damaging our mobility without our knowledge. I know we all like a sweet treat from time to time. That slice of apple pie at the family gathering, the cookies with our afternoon tea, or the small bowl of ice cream before bed. These minor pleasures appear innocuous enough, don't they? But what if I told you that these seemingly innocent indulgences could be directly contributing to the weakness you experience when climbing stairs or walking? The science is unequivocal, and as someone concerned for your long-term mobility and independence, I must share this knowledge with you. Let's start with sweets and sugary treats, such as cookies, cakes, pastries, candy, and even healthy muffins, which are typically filled with hidden sugar. When you eat these sugary meals, three distinct systems begin to weaken your leg strength almost instantly. First, high sugar causes inflammation throughout your body, including your leg muscles. This is not the type of inflammation you can see or feel immediately away, it occurs at the cellular level. This chronic, low-grade inflammation affects your muscle cells' natural function, stopping them from contracting and healing normally. Over time, this causes persistent weakness and discomfort, which many people wrongly blame on just getting older. Margaret, a 72-year-old from Cleveland, has been feeling heavy and weak in her legs for years. After only 3 weeks of lowering her sugar intake, she was surprised at how much stronger her legs felt. "I can now climb all 14 steps to my daughter's apartment without stopping," my wife informed me. I never would have believed sugar was the culprit. The second mechanism is something known as insulin resistance. Insulin is commonly associated with diabetes, yet it affects everyone, diabetic or not. When insulin is working properly, it helps carry glucose, your body's principal fuel, to your muscle cells for energy. However, eating too many sweets leads your body to create excess insulin over time, and your muscles gradually develop resistance to its effects. This means that your leg muscles cannot get the energy required to function properly. It's like having a full tank of gas in your automobile but a clogged fuel line that prevents it from getting to the engine. Regardless of how much fuel you have, the car will not run correctly, nor will your legs. Another way to think about it: imagine having to go up a flight of stairs with only half the energy available to your leg muscles. You'll naturally feel weaker, tire faster, and may feel shaky. This is not normal aging, it is a direct result of what you eat. Studies have revealed that seniors who consume more sugar have much poorer leg strength than those who consume moderate sugar, even when other characteristics such as age and exercise are taken into account. The third mechanism influences your circulation. Sugar creates inflammation in your blood vessels and promotes plaque accumulation, limiting blood flow to your leg muscles. Your muscles require a continuous supply of oxygen and nourishment to perform properly. When sugar interferes with blood flow, your legs feel weaker, tire faster, and recover more slowly after exercise. What makes this especially troubling is that sugar can be included in so many meals that we don't even consider to be sweets. Remember whole grain bread? frequently contains additional sugar. Your favorite spaghetti sauce probably has more sugar than you would expect. Even many senior-focused meal replacement drinks and protein bars contain hidden sugars. And manufacturers are adept at concealing it, employing terminology such as sucrose, high-fructose corn syrup, dextrose, maltose, and dozens of other names that do not instantly register as sugar when we read labels. Now, I'm not saying you should never have a sweet treat again. That would not be practical or necessary. However, recognizing the relationship between sugar and leg strength allows you to make more informed decisions about when and how often you indulge. Even cutting your sugar intake moderately can make a significant effect in how your legs feel and function in only a few weeks. Many of my patients report major improvements in their mobility, balance, and energy levels after making this single alteration. Now, let's speak about another type of food that can substantially damage your leg strength: high-fat and processed foods, which many of us grew up with and continue to consume today. I'm talking about items like fried chicken, French fries, bacon, ham, sausages, processed cheese slices, and handy pre-made dinners that only take a few minutes to microwave. These foods have become staples in many of our diets because they are delicious, convenient, and frequently evoke good memories of family meals from the past. I understand our emotional relationship to these foods. My grandmother's fried chicken was renowned in our family, and those Sunday dinners are still some of my most treasured memories. But, as someone who is concerned about your mobility and freedom, I must explain how these foods may be harming your legs. Let's start with fried dishes, which include fried chicken, French fries, onion rings, and fried fish. These foods are often high in two types of unhealthy fats: trans fats and saturated fats. While all fats are required in your diet, some specific ones can be particularly problematic for your leg strength and mobility. When you eat fried foods on a daily basis, these fats cause inflammation and narrowing of your blood vessels, a process known as atherosclerosis. This is especially noticeable in the tiny blood vessels of your legs and feet. Imagine trying to water your garden with a half-clogged hose. The water pressure lowers, and portions of your garden receive insufficient water. Similarly, when your blood arteries narrow, your leg muscles do not obtain the oxygen and nutrients they require to perform normally. Without enough blood flow, your muscles are unable to generate the energy essential for strength and endurance. This causes the characteristic burning feeling while walking short distances, weakness when mounting stairs, and heaviness in your legs after only a few minutes standing. Signs of poor circulation include cold feet, numbness or tingling in your legs, and discoloration. These aren't merely circulation problems, they're direct contributors to muscular weakness, which can impede your movement and freedom. Now let's talk about processed meats, such as bacon, ham, sausages, hot dogs, and deli meats. These meals pose a separate but equally serious challenge to your leg strength. Processed meats often include high quantities of sodium, nitrates, nitrites, and other preservatives, which cause chronic inflammation throughout your body, including your leg muscles and joints. This inflammation disrupts normal muscle function and healing, putting your muscles under constant stress. Over time, this causes decreased strength, increased fatigue, and longer recovery from exertion. Furthermore, the extremely high salt content in these foods induces fluid retention, particularly in the lower legs and feet. This increases the pressure on already damaged blood vessels, further limiting circulation to your muscles. But perhaps most troubling is how processed meats disrupt your body's glucose metabolism, which is the method by which your muscles obtain energy. Regular use of processed meats has been related to insulin resistance, as we mentioned with sugar, thereby starving your leg muscles of the energy they require to operate properly. Let's talk about ultra-processed cheeses, which include individually wrapped slices, spray cheeses, and shelf-stable cheese products that many of us prefer for their convenience and lengthy shelf life. These goods frequently contain high levels of sodium, phosphates, and chemical preservatives, which can have a major impact on leg strength via a variety of ways. The phosphate additions in these products can upset your body's delicate mineral balance, notably calcium and magnesium, which are necessary for optimal muscular function. This imbalance can cause muscle cramps, weakness, and weariness, particularly in the legs. Excess sodium in these goods promotes fluid retention and high blood pressure, both of which restrict blood flow to your leg muscles. They also induce systemic inflammation, which impairs muscular performance, as do other highly processed foods. I want to be clear, I am not proposing that you fully eliminate all of these foods. Many of us have always appreciated these foods, and they are strongly ingrained in our family traditions and social occasions. Rather, I'm asking you to be aware of how these foods may be hurting your leg strength and to consider lowering their consumption. Even modest modifications, like as eating fried meals once a week instead of 3 times, or opting for fresh meats over processed ones when possible, can have a substantial impact on how your legs feel and function. Many of my patients have been astounded by how much stronger their legs feel after just a few weeks of limiting these meals. Simple tasks like going to the mailbox, climbing stairs, or playing with grandchildren become substantially easier and more fun. Now let's look at some additional popular meals that may be damaging your leg strength, substances that many of us take on a daily basis without realizing how they affect our mobility. Let's start with white bread and other processed carbs. I'm talking about things like white bread, most spaghetti, crackers, numerous morning cereals, and white rice, which have been staples in American homes for centuries. These foods have had the majority of their natural fiber, vitamins, and minerals removed during processing, leaving only starch, which your body quickly turns to sugar. When you eat these refined carbs, your blood sugar levels rise quickly, often quicker than if you ate table sugar. This causes a substantial insulin reaction, comparable to what we saw earlier with sugary foods. Over time, this pattern of blood sugar rises causes insulin resistance in muscle cells. Remember that insulin permits glucose, your muscle's principal fuel, to enter the cells. When your leg muscles become insulin resistant, they are unable to access the energy required for normal function. This is why many seniors report that some actions, such as getting out of a chair or ascending stairs, are more difficult after eating a lot of refined carbs. Despite the fact that your bloodstream is full of glucose, your muscles are virtually running on empty. Aside from the blood sugar impact, white bread and refined carbohydrates lack the protein and vital minerals that your muscles require for maintenance and repair. Consider attempting to build or repair a house with only half of the required materials. The structure will be significantly weaker. Many of my patients are astonished to hear that moving from white to actual whole grain bread, not simply brown bread, can significantly improve their leg strength and endurance in just a few weeks. Now, let's talk about something many of us love socially: alcoholic beverages. Many seniors like alcohol in their social lives, whether it's wine with dinner, beer while watching sports, or the occasional cocktail with friends. While moderate alcohol use is not always harmful to everyone, it can have a major impact on leg strength through a variety of methods. First, alcohol inhibits your body's absorption of important minerals required for muscle function, including calcium, magnesium, and vitamin D. We've already mentioned how beneficial these nutrients are to your leg muscles. Second, drinking reduces the body's ability to repair and regenerate muscle tissue. Maintaining muscular mass becomes increasingly difficult as we age, and alcohol exacerbates the situation. Third, alcohol dehydrates, and adequate hydration is required for good muscle performance. Even slight dehydration can diminish muscle strength by up to 10 to 15%, especially in the legs. Fourth, regular alcohol drinking has an impact on liver function, and the liver is responsible for digesting proteins and other nutrients required for muscle health. When liver function is impaired, your muscles, particularly the big muscles in your legs, may not receive the nutrition they require. Finally, alcoholic beverages are frequently heavy in empty calories, which contributes to weight gain and places additional strain on already weak leg muscles. Many seniors are unaware that a single mixed drink can contain the same number of calories as a small meal while supplying none of the nutrients your muscles require. Let's take a look at another type of food that can affect your leg strength, those that include monosodium glutamate, also known as MSG, and other industrial additives. MSG and related flavor enhancers can be present in a variety of processed foods, including canned soups, frozen dinners, snack foods, and condiments. According to research, these substances can have a deleterious effect on the neurotransmitters that drive muscle contraction, potentially resulting in weakness and coordination difficulties. Many industrial food additives cause inflammatory reactions in sensitive individuals. As we've shown in this video, inflammation has a direct impact on muscle function and can contribute to gradual weakness in your legs. MSG-containing foods are often high in sodium, which causes fluid retention and high blood pressure, both of which can limit blood supply to your leg muscles and impair their performance. Perhaps most worrying is that regular consumption of foods containing MSG and related compounds may alter how your muscles use glucose, their principal fuel source, making them less efficient and more susceptible to weariness and weakness. I understand that many of the things we've addressed today, such as white bread, alcoholic beverages, and convenience foods with additives, are firmly embedded in our daily routines and social lives. I'm not advocating that you should completely eradicate them. Rather, I recommend that you be mindful of their potential impact on your leg strength and consider progressively eliminating them or seeking alternatives. Small modifications, when performed consistently, can result in dramatic improvements in the way your legs feel and operate. Many of my patients remark that after making these nutritional changes, their legs feel stronger, stairs become easier to climb, and their general energy levels increase drastically, frequently in just a few weeks. Now that we understand the potential risks of excess vitamin A and vitamin D, let's talk about what matters most: how to protect your leg strength while still getting the nutrients you need. The good news is that with the right approach to supplementation, you can maintain your health without risking your mobility. To begin, let's talk about suitable dosages. For healthy persons over 60, here are the parameters you should know. The recommended daily allowance for vitamin A is 900 micrograms for men and 700 micrograms for women. However, the upper limit, the amount you should not exceed, is 3,000 micrograms per day. Exceeding this amount can have negative effects on your muscle strength, as we previously discussed. Most seniors require 800 to 1,000 international units, IU, of vitamin D per day, with a daily maximum of 4,000 IU. However, some medical problems may necessitate larger dosages under strict medical supervision. Remember, these are only guidelines. Your personal needs may vary depending on your specific health problems, medications, diet, and even where you reside, so it's critical to consult with your healthcare professional to establish what's best for you. But how do you know if you're getting too much? Well, that brings us to our next critical point. Reading supplement labels can feel like decoding a foreign language, but I'll make it simple for you. Here's what to look for. First, locate the Supplement Facts panel, which has all of the crucial information. Pay attention to the following 3 things. The vitamins form as listed. For vitamin A, search for names like retinol, retinol palmitate, or retinol acetate. These are the types that are more likely to create issues when consumed in excess. Beta-carotene, which your body converts to vitamin A when needed, is generally considered safer. The quantity per serving. Make sure you understand the units used. Vitamin A may be reported in micrograms mcg, international units, IU, or as a percentage of daily value. For reference, 1 IU of retinol is approximately 0.3 micrograms. Serving size. This is vital. A serving can often consist of more than 1 pill, so double-check your consumption calculations. Here's a practical tip: create a simple chart or use your smartphone to record the amounts of these vitamins in all your supplements. You'd be surprised how many products contain vitamin A or D that you might not expect, including multivitamins, calcium supplements, fish oil, and even some protein powders. Don't forget to check your prescription medications, as some may include vitamin A derivatives, particularly those for skin disorders. I know this might seem overwhelming, but taking just 5 minutes to understand what you're taking could save you from months of unnecessary leg weakness and pain. In addition to reading labels, I offer 3 critical ways for monitoring your vitamin intake to all of my viewers. To begin, keep a simple supplement journal. It doesn't have to be complicated, simply a notebook where you write what you take each day. This will be quite useful when discussing your regimen with your doctor. Second, have regular checkups with your doctor, including blood tests to monitor your vitamin levels. This is especially critical if you're taking vitamins A or D. These tests can tell you whether you're reaching dangerous levels before you develop symptoms. The vitamin D test is known as 25-hydroxyvitamin D. The ideal range for most adults is 20 to 50 nanograms per milliliter. Going significantly above this range can result in muscular and bone issues, as previously described. A serum retinol test can help you identify if your vitamin A levels are too high. Your doctor can assist you in interpreting these results depending on your individual health profile. Third, be aware of the warning signs. If you notice unusual fatigue, muscle weakness, especially in your legs, joint pain, or difficulty standing from a seated position, these could be early indicators of vitamin toxicity. Don't dismiss these symptoms as just normal aging, they could be telling you something important about your supplement regimen. Remember, friends, supplements are supposed to augment, not replace, a healthy diet. Many seniors can obtain appropriate levels of these vitamins from food alone. Sweet potatoes, carrots, spinach, and liver all contain high levels of vitamin A. Vitamin D is produced by your skin when exposed to sunshine and is also found in fatty fish and fortified dairy products. The key is balance, not too little, not too much, and always consult with your healthcare professional before beginning any new supplement regimen, especially if you're already on medication. Now that we've discussed how to appropriately manage your supplements, let's speak about something equally important: your diet. What you consume every day can either promote strong, healthy legs or cause weakness and suffering. The good news is that making a few small changes to your eating habits can make a huge effect. Earlier, we explored how certain foods might cause inflammation and muscle weakness. Remember the list of dangerous foods? Let's put that knowledge into action by looking for delectable alternatives that will help you build leg strength. Instead of sugary pastries and sweets that promote inflammation and insulin resistance, consider fresh berries with a dollop of Greek yogurt. Berries' antioxidants combat inflammation, but Greek yogurt's protein aids muscle upkeep. When you have a taste for fried foods, choose air-fried or oven-baked options instead. You'll still get that wonderful crunch, but without the trans fats, which can reduce blood supply to your leg muscles. White bread may be handy, but it generates those pesky blood sugar spikes. Whole grain bread, on the other hand, provides consistent energy and contains nutrients such as magnesium, which are required for muscle function. Let me show you how simple these swaps can be. Instead of processed meats like bacon or sausage for breakfast, which are high in sodium and preservatives that cause inflammation, try a small portion of smoked salmon, which is high in protein and those beneficial omega-3 fatty acids that actually reduce inflammation and support muscle health. Instead of reaching for instant noodles or processed cheeses, keep sliced vegetables and hummus in your refrigerator. Hummus delivers protein and healthy fats, while vegetables provide vitamins and minerals without the sodium overload. These easy modifications do not require you to entirely restructure your diet or give up everything you enjoy. They are about making smarter choices that promote your leg strength while also satisfying your taste senses. Now, let's concentrate on foods that actively support and improve your leg strength. These are the real superstars you should be inviting to your table on a regular basis. First, let's discuss protein. After the age of 60, our bodies require more protein to retain the same amount of muscle. Aim for 1 to 1.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight every day. For a 150-pound person, that equates to 70 to 80 grams of protein distributed throughout the day. Lean meats, fish, eggs, dairy, legumes, and plant-based diets with bean and whole grain combinations can all supply complete proteins. Next, choose foods high in magnesium and potassium, which are essential for muscular contraction and relaxation. Dark leafy greens such as spinach and kale, bananas, avocados, and almonds are also good sources. Colorful fruits and vegetables provide antioxidants that combat inflammation, the silent enemy of strong muscles. Try to eat a rainbow every day: red tomatoes or peppers, orange sweet potatoes, yellow squash, green broccoli, blueberries, and purple eggplant. Natural vitamin D is found in fatty fish like salmon, sardines, and small amounts of egg yolks, while calcium is found in dairy products, fortified plant milks, and leafy greens. Vitamin D and calcium-rich foods work together to promote muscle and bone health, which is essential for maintaining leg strength. Notice how I haven't mentioned vitamins here. When feasible, obtaining nutrients from whole meals is preferable because they contain additional beneficial substances that function synergistically in your body. I understand that altering dietary habits can be difficult, especially if you've been eating certain foods for decades. That's why I'd like to share some useful meal planning methods that have benefited hundreds of seniors in my community. First, start small. Choose one meal to change each week. Perhaps start with breakfast, replacing white bread with whole grain or adding a handful of berries to your morning routine. Second, adopt the plate approach to make healthy eating easier. Fill half of your plate with colorful vegetables and fruits, 1/4 with lean protein, and 1/4 with whole grains or starchy vegetables such as sweet potatoes. Third, embrace batch cooking. When you create a healthy soup, stew, or casserole, make extra portions to freeze for later. This guarantees that you always have a nutritious option available, even when you don't feel like cooking. Fourth, keep a food diary for 1 week. This isn't about judging, it's about awareness. We often don't realize patterns in our eating until they're written down. You might discover you're eating more processed foods than you thought, or that you skip meals when you're busy, which can affect your energy and muscle strength. Finally, make it social. Share healthful meals with friends and family whenever feasible. Studies reveal that people eat more nutritiously in social settings, and companionship nourishes not just your body but also your spirit. Remember, friends, the goal is not perfection. It is progress. Each healthy choice you make contributes to stronger legs and greater independence. Isn't that what we all want? The ability to continue doing what we love, with the people we love, for as long as possible. Now that we've discussed how to nourish your body with the correct meals, let's speak about another important factor in preserving leg strength: movement. In our next session, I'll show you some gentle yet effective workouts intended specifically for seniors who want to retain their mobility. We've discussed nutrition and supplementation, but there's one more critical factor to maintaining leg strength that we simply can't overlook: good medical advice. Many seniors tell me they feel rushed during doctor sessions and are hesitant to express concerns about supplements. Today, we're going to alter that by providing you with the information you need to be your own best health advocate. Let's begin by discussing how to work effectively with your healthcare providers around vitamin intake and leg strength. Many doctors do not usually inquire about supplements, thinking you will inform them if you are taking any. However, this error might have major implications for your health and mobility. Before your next checkup, make a thorough inventory of everything you take, including prescriptions, over-the-counter drugs, vitamins, minerals, and herbal supplements. Include the exact quantities and how frequently you take them. This easy procedure can uncover any interactions that may be hurting your leg strength. Don't be hesitant to inquire directly: could any of my supplements be causing my leg weakness or muscle pain? If your doctor appears dismissive, be politely persistent. You might remark, I noticed these symptoms started around the time I started taking this supplement. Could there be a connection? Ask about testing your levels of vitamin A and D before starting or continuing to take supplements. This is especially crucial if you're taking a multivitamin, calcium pills with enhanced vitamin D, cod liver oil, or consuming fortified foods. All of these sources add up quickly. If you are suffering any of the symptoms we've covered, muscle weakness, trouble climbing stairs, inexplicable weariness, or joint discomfort, make sure to express them clearly. Don't assume that these are just natural indications of age that you must accept. Here's a useful list of questions to bring to your next appointment. Should I take vitamin A or D supplements based on my individual health needs? What is the appropriate dosage for me, given my age, weight, and other medications? How often should I have my vitamin levels tested? Could my current symptoms be due to vitamin toxicity? Are there any specific indicators of vitamin overdose that I should look for? Remember that effective healthcare is a collaboration. Your doctor is the medical expert, but you know your body best. Together, you can make informed decisions to protect your mobility and independence. Now, let's talk about the value of regular monitoring. This is more than simply yearly checkups, it's about creating a regular strategy for tracking your health in between doctor visits. First, set a baseline. Consult your healthcare provider to obtain proper blood tests that measure your current vitamin levels, particularly vitamins A and D if you are supplementing. Keep these results in a health journal or file for future reference. Next, devise a simple technique for tracking your leg strength and general mobility. This requires no sophisticated equipment, just consistency. Every week, take notice of: how effortlessly can you rise from a chair without using your arms? How many steps can you climb before needing to rest? How far can you walk comfortably? Any pain or weakness you feel in your legs? These self-assessments can reveal subtle changes that might otherwise go unnoticed. When tracked over time, they can provide valuable information about whether your supplements are helping or potentially harming your leg strength. I recommend scheduling comprehensive vitamin level tests every 6 to 12 months if you're taking supplements regularly, or more frequently if you've experienced symptoms or are taking higher doses. Mark these dates on your calendar ahead of time, just like any other important appointment. Between doctor appointments, pay attention to how your body responds to changes in your supplement regimen. If you see improvements in energy or strength after reducing your vitamin A or D dosage, share this information with your healthcare provider. Many of us were raised not to question doctors or bring up concerns. But today's healthcare requires us to be active participants. Your observations are not complaints, they're important clinical information that can help your doctor provide better care. Now, let's discuss when you should seek immediate medical attention. While most vitamin-related issues develop gradually, there are certain warning signs that shouldn't wait for your next scheduled appointment. Consult your doctor immediately if you experience sudden or acute muscle weakness, particularly in the legs. Unusual or ongoing pain in your bones or joints. Difficulty rising from a seated posture occurs over days rather than months. Unexpected falls or lack of equilibrium. Severe headaches and nausea. Significant changes in vision. Confusion or disorientation. These could indicate vitamin poisoning, necessitating prompt treatment. I want to underline something important. Advocating for your health does not imply being aggressive or cynical of medical professionals, it entails engaging in a polite discourse in which both your knowledge and their expertise are acknowledged. If you believe your worries about supplements and leg strength are not being addressed, it is completely fine to say, "This issue is significantly affecting my quality of life and independence. I'd appreciate it if we could investigate further or consider a referral to a specialist." A referral to an endocrinologist, rheumatologist, or geriatric specialist may be required, especially if vitamin toxicity is suspected but difficult to confirm. Remember that different healthcare providers have different areas of expertise. Your primary care physician provides essential overall care, but specialists may have more experience with specific issues related to vitamins and muscle strength in older adults. Above all, trust your instincts. If something doesn't feel right with your body, it probably isn't. You've lived in your body for many decades, you know when something has changed. That wisdom is invaluable to your healthcare team if you share it clearly and consistently. Managing your health requires a team approach, with you as the captain. Now that we've covered how to work effectively with medical professionals, let's explore some gentle but effective exercises that can help rebuild and maintain your leg strength, regardless of your current fitness level. Hit the like button if you're ready to claim your strength back, for yourself, your family, and the memories you still have to make.